Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Great to see you.
Savannah, do we have everyone?
We do.
Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Frank Kucher. I serve as our Senior Associate Athletics Director for External Relations. It's obviously an incredibly exciting day for us here at Fresno State. In a moment, I'm going to turn it over to our president, Dr. Saúl Jiménez-Sandoval, for his remarks. Before I do that, I just
Recording in progress.
How this will work. Once we get to the question portion of today, please type question into the chat bar, and Savannah Stokel will call on you in the order those are received. But for no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our president, Dr. Saúl Jiménez-Sandoval.
Well, it's great to see all of you today. It's a great day for Fresno State and for Bulldog athletics. This day is one that many of us have waited for a very long time. Athletic Director Klassy and I could not be more excited to share with you that in beginning 2026, Fresno State has officially joined the Pac-12 Conference, really ushering a new era for Bulldog athletics. This is a landmark decision, and it marks a new chapter for Fresno State. The Pac-12 Conference Board of Directors has unanimously voted to admit Fresno State into the Pac-12 Conference. For over 100 years, the legacy of Bulldog athletics has been truly the pride of the Valley, the heartbeat of the Valley. Becoming a part of the centennial legacy of the Pac-12 Conference will allow the rest of the world to know what the Valley has known all along, that we are Bulldog proud and that we are going to shine very brightly. This historic move will allow for opportunities for growth in media rights, enhancement of corporate partnerships, and the utilization of Pac-12 enterprises broadcast and content production capabilities, which truly positions Fresno State and our student athletes for enduring sustainability and success as well. So today I'm very reflective over the moment. I'm savoring the moment because it's long coming. And I'm thankful for leadership at Fresno State. I'm truly thankful for Athletic Director Garrett Klassy. He's a strong, very solid, very visionary leader that I'm very glad that he's with us. I'm very glad as well for Debbie Astone. Her business acumen and her business abilities really helped us throughout this process. And of course, John Walsh, our counsel, was very fundamental to all of us during this process. And of course, Lauren and all of her team for all of the high level of professional messaging that they did and they're still doing. Thank you very much for that. I'm also extremely thankful to the Red Wave. Not a lot of universities can boast that 4,000 fans traveled to a game that's as far away as Michigan. And not many universities can say that we have sold out games, at the stadium, Valley Children's Stadium. So I'm very grateful to the Red Wave for their loyalty and for always being there for Fresno State athletics. Thankful as well to the professors and the students at Fresno State, whose dedication to learning and academic excellence greatly contributed to the collective value of our brand. And very thankful to our coaches and student athletes who at every match and game go out there and they embody the excellence of this Valley of Plenty. It's the total aggregation of all of these impressive elements that allow us to reach this true milestone for us. It's the Valley with our dynamic energy and vibrant communities that are being represented each time we play. And each time someone in Michigan or LA or Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Colorado says Fresno State, in their mind, the competitive excellence of our teams translates into respect and honor for our region. So the Pac-12 shares, of course, our commitment to upholding the mission of higher education. And they prioritize, just like we do, this academic and this athletic strength, of exceptional and holistic experience for our students and our student athletes. And as of today, it's a day of celebration in so many days. We also celebrate our new partnership, of course, with the Pac-12, but we celebrate with heartfelt gratitude the Mountain West Conference, the conference which has given us in so many great memories that now form part of our collective identity in the Valley. We hold the Mountain West in the highest regard and sincerely appreciate the invaluable support and opportunities they have offered our institution and our valley and our student athletes throughout our 12 years of membership. And we truly look forward to our continued membership over this current season and the next one. So with that brief introduction of gratitude, of savoring the moment, of looking towards the future, being thankful for leadership, being thankful for our students and our faculty in our region, I would like to open it up for questions.
As a reminder, please type question in the chat box and Savannah will call on you in that order. Thank you.
Steven, go ahead.
Hi, my question is for Garrett Klassy. Without knowing, the media deal and the specifics of that, you described it as a transformative move for Fresno State, and I'm wondering if you can elaborate on why it is so transformative.
Well, absolutely. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for joining us today. It's transformative in so many different ways. Not only is it transformative for our university from an academic side and increasing the brand and the national presence of our university, but it does that for our athletic department as well, too. There's so many benefits from this, different revenue opportunities, as the president alluded to, working with Pac-12 enterprises that can produce up to 2,000 productions every year. So not only does it make our productions better, it's another revenue stream for the conference. And when I was reviewing this job, when I interviewed for this job, and during my press conference, I talked about how we got to operate more like a business and find new revenue streams. This is going to be a huge help for us moving forward as far as another piece of the puzzle to help out our revenue side of things. It's transformative for the Red Wave, for the Valley, right? Our fan base, to partner with iconic brands. The four of us that are leaving the Mountain West, as well as partnering with Oregon State and Washington State, and then looking to add a couple more members. That's transformative. I mean, I tell you, one of the things that has been really impressed me about the Valley has been the people. But one of the things I kept on hearing was like, please just keep us relevant. Well, that's not what the president's vision is, and it's absolutely not what my vision is. We have a transformative leader in President Jiménez-Sandoval, and we're going to dream big. The Valley's got to stop thinking that we're second place to anyone. We are an iconic brand. We are change agents, and we're going to be leaders throughout this whole situation. And we're going to put Fresno State in the best position to succeed. And that's what you're seeing here today. And that's why we're involved, and that's why we're going to be joining the Pac-12 Conference. So it's transformative to shape the attitude of our Valley. We're not going to take a back seat. We're going to have the Valley DNA with the grit. We're going to fight, and we're going to be the best version of ourselves. And we've said that from day one, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to accomplish here.
Jackson?
For President Saúl, to the general public, this whole development has transpired rapidly over the last 15 hours or so. Can you share a bit about how much personal effort you've put into conference realignment over the last year or two and how it feels to see this result transpire?
Yeah, like I said, Jackson, thanks for the question. I'm very grateful for the Mountain West. I think it's been a great home for Fresno State. But conference realignment has always been part of my vision because it means that Fresno State is going to be showcased on a greater level. And it means that our region, because it's really about our region, there is no division between Fresno State and the Greater Valley region. Whenever somebody says Fresno State, immediately the Greater Valley region is reflected in that specific context, and then vice versa. If somebody says anything dealing with the Valley region, sooner or later, within one or two strokes, you will find Fresno State right there. So for me, it's been a labor of love, and it's been a mission of mine to really elevate the brand of Fresno State, and to hark back to what Athletic Director Klassy was saying previously. We need to change the mentality of ourselves. I grew up here, of thinking that we are second, to other people. We are second to nobody. We are first in so many ways, and we are so proud to be part of this region. So my efforts in promoting Fresno State and in elevating the brand of Fresno State have always been in tune intrinsically in tune with really highlighting the strength, the diversity, the food, the economy, the society, all of the incredible things that this region has to offer. So I'm glad that this has come to us. I'm glad that we are part of these four that are now going to go to the Pac-12. And I believe that the future is very bright for Fresno State and synonymously for the region as well. So thanks for that.
Scott?
This question is for Garrett. Garrett, I'm just curious, as you try to put a value on this, you're someone who has maybe a little bit of experience in this area. How much more valuable, you don't have to get into exact dollars and cents, do you think it is to be a part of, say, a 8-team Pac-12 brand as opposed to a current 12-team Mountain West?
I mean, that's definitely an open-ended question there, Scott. I mean, the one thing is I have spent 8 years in the Pac-12. That brand has been around for over 100 years. And so I want to talk more about the value of the Pac-12 brand, because like the president said, we've been really good partners with the Mountain West, and they've been a great home for us, and they've been incredible to Fresno State. But I will say the Pac-12 brand is a national brand. I mean, just that name alone, it's hard to quantify. Obviously, there were consultants that worked and showed some of the value on what it means overall. But the fact that we're going to be competing in the Pac-12, I mean, the synonymous saying Pac-12 after dark, you saw comments on that on social media. It already has that built-in brand. And I know that some of the teams have left, but those that are coming in, it's our goal to compete and be as strong as the brands that are leaving. And, I'll tell you right now that we're not going there for a participation trophy. We're going there to win championships. And, my call to action to the Red Wave in the Valley is that we need everyone's help. Our journey is just starting. Our goal is to climb that mountaintop every single day. And we're not going to stop until we get to the top. And then once to the top, we're going to keep fighting every day to stay on the top. And so this isn't just a Fresno State mission. This is for the Valley. This is for the Red Wave. We need everyone to do their part. This journey is just beginning. This is one step in the long process that we have here. And so, we're gonna piggyback, and that brand's gonna help us, but we need to do our part as well to be great members of that conference.
Robert?
Robert, you're muted. If you could unmute yourself first.
Sorry about that. Question for both, I guess. I'm just wondering if the Pac-12 is providing any financial assistance toward the exit fee to the 4 schools.
Yeah, that's in the works right now, Robert. That would be that it's in flux right now. So I would rather not provide you with any more details than that. But I do know that the Pac-12 is a good home for us, and that will rise to that occasion as well. So thanks for that.
Steven?
Yeah, my question is again for Mr. Klassy. I mean, what does Fresno State need to do to prepare itself for that 2026-27 athletic season when you guys are officially competing in the Mountain West? Like, looking around at the landscape, what needs to change between now and then?
Well, immediately we got to sell out the game this weekend, right? so let's sell out the game this weekend. But hey, it's no secret, we have some work to do, right? I mean, through the interview process in my first 6 weeks here, we have some facility improvements we need to do. And, the Red Wave will constantly talk about the stadium, but we have some improvements that we need to make infrastructure-wise for our teams to help them compete at the highest level. And we're committed to doing that. I've been out on my listen and learn tour and been throughout the Valley, and there's people that want to help. We have to give them a reason why they want to help. We have to show that we're being good stewards of their resources and showing the impact they're making on Fresno State athletics. And so you're going to see a vision, you're going to see a strategic plan out of athletics here in short order. And we're going to be able to announce some improvements that we need to make. The reality is we're not a finished product, and we won't be a finished product 10 years from now. But if we get a little bit better every day and keep investing the way we are into the student athlete experience, into winning championships, into the educational experience, into creating, great individuals and leaders for the Valley, which is always going to be our core, we're going to get there, right? And so we're committed to this thing. We're going to keep, fundraising. I mean, the president hired me, I hope, for many reasons, but one of them is my strong revenue generation background. And now it's time for me to show what I'm made of. And, I can sit here and talk all day, but action speaks louder than words, and we're going to attack it. And we're going to make sure, like I said in my previous statement, we're going there to win championships. We're not going there for participation trophies.
Paul,
Do you have a feel for what it was that put Fresno State at the top of the list? Because obviously there are some schools disappointed that they aren't part of this group. What do you feel it was about Fresno State that made the Bulldogs such a clear-cut choice?
Thank you, Paul, for that. I'll take that first, and then I'll hand it over to Garrett later on. There are 5 prioritized measures and established criteria that are used. So, it's a combination of all of these. And I sort of like alluded to them at the beginning, Paul, in my introduction. It's a combination of the academics and athletics performance, number 1. Number 2, it's the media and brand evaluation. And this is really where the red wave comes in. When we have a sold out first game, against Sacramento, and we want to repeat that, this weekend as well. What does that mean for the brand? It means that we have people who are loyal. It means that the red wave is there supporting us all the way. But it also means that we have a bigger attraction beyond the valley. When people see that the region sticks, strongly with the Dogs, when people see that the region supports and are diehard fans, when people see this excitement and this DNA that runs, within our veins for cheering on our Bulldogs on the field, that establishes a brand presence outside of this region. Of course, it makes us feel really good when we come together and we cheer our Dogs on, but beyond the region, other communities within the valley, outside of the valley, across the nation, they say to us, "Hey, you have something that's really good that's going on here. I love the tailgates." I haven't met one person who has come from the outside who has not been completely impressed and blown away by the level of engagement and the level of deep community that you see with our tailgates. So that would be number 2, like the breadth and scope of the brand, the breadth and scope of our media value, beyond when people tune on to watch one of our games. What are they watching? They're watching our Dogs play, of course, but at the same time, they're watching the region, and that's building brand, time and time again. Number 3 would be this commitment to athletics and to their success from leadership, from the region, from the university, from everyone. We want to have that element that's there. 4 would be geography and logistics. That's important as well. We're at the heart, of California. We're the heartland of California, and I say that very proudly. We're right in the center of the state, and that gives us a geographical advantage each and every time. And then number 5 would be culture and student athlete welfare. What is the culture of this institution? How do we move forward? How do we embrace? How do we embrace opportunities that come our way? So it's not just athletics. It's great that we have incredible student athletes. It's great that we have incredible coaches, modeling and really shaping these student athletes in the field, in the pool, everywhere else. But it's the totality of who we are. It's the ethos of the region that is really a conglomerate of all of this value that says, all right, you have the academic, you have the athletic, you have the media, you have the brand, you have the people, you have the industry of the region, you have the economy, you have the fact that we produce 25% of our nation's food. All of this creates this notion of a multicultural society of which we are part of here. It's incredible. We have every food available to us out there from every corner of the world. That's a huge value. When you go to other places, you don't have these offerings that you have here in Fresno. So I think all of this combined really allowed us to rise to the top and say, we are one of the four, and we are one of the four who will continue on with the Pac-12, of which we are very fortunate and very, very glad to be there.
And the only thing I would add is, obviously, as the president Jiménez-Sandoval talked about, it was the alignment with the other institutions, and it's our brand, and that's really what he dug into there. I mean, this started way back when with Jim Sweeney to Pat Hill to Jeff Tedford to now, and these decisions aren't based on relationships. It's based on metrics and its value, correct? And so the reality is our brand is strong. We are a national brand. We're not just a Central California brand. We're not just a West Coast brand. We're a national brand. And all those things are key as we're trying to elevate our program. And that's what we continue to do. We always want to keep growing our brand.
This question is for Garrett. Garrett, this is Scott Bemis here. And actually, President Sandoval, if you feel you have some thoughts too, feel free to share some as well. Just curious, obviously, you guys are at 6 right now. You have to have 8 to be a formal conference. Can you share anything about what you guys are thinking for expansion? And going forward is part of the goal. I mean, obviously, do you guys see yourself trying to get in and become maybe a 5th so-called power conference with an automatic bid?
Listen, I don't want to get into the weeds on this, Scott, and I think it's a great question, a very valid question, but we were really focused on the 4 of us becoming members, and we're not a lot of discussions as far as what the future is. The obvious is you need to have 2 more members, right, to be considered a viable conference, and I think we're going to do that, right? The great thing is that now we have a seat at the table in the Pac-12, and we get 1/6 of the vote, and we'll be very vocal what our needs are for the university and what we like. But it's going to be the same metrics that were determined that Fresno State was a great for the Pac-12 are going to determine what the next members are going to be like. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're going in this, as we mentioned earlier, we're dreaming big. Yes, I mean, we certainly off the bat. Right now, today, our SID, in my mind, we're the 5th best conference right now in the country, and we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep growing, and the goal is to, we want to be part of that equation. Absolutely.
We'll take last question from Robert.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you can confirm that revenue distribution in the conference would be tied to performance, and if so, how much pressure does that put on the university and athletics department to get sport operating budgets and things like that at a more competitive level?
I think the 6 universities, Robert, will collaborate to discuss all business models, including performance-based revenue incentives specific to football and men's basketball, and other sports are possibly as well. But this is going to be done to determine the best course of action for the member institutions and also for our students. But I will say, that all members in the Pac-12 conference are full members. We don't have a tier of members who are up here and members who are down here. So we are all full members. Within that, though, we will collaboratively discuss these business models, which do include performance-based revenue incentives.
Okay, and that second part of that question, and just, I mean, how much pressure does that put on the university and the athletics department?
I mean, I mean, there's always pressure, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if there's performance-based incentives or not. I mean, winning obviously helps with all revenue streams, whether it's ticket sales, corporate sponsorships, donations, you name it. So there's always pressure. If we don't win, in our marquee sports or any of our sports, and we always want to create the best student athlete experience possible, and part of that is winning championships. So I don't think it adds pressure. There's pressure every day. If we don't win in football, you're probably, and we don't win in the Pac-12, you're probably talking to a different athletic director down the road in a few years. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be sitting here a long time. So to me, it's not added pressure. There's always pressure when we're always trying to field the best product possible.
Yeah, and I will add to that it's an opportunity for us. And when I say us, it's the collective us. Oftentimes we tend to think that it's the university that is fully and utterly responsible for what this opportunity represents, but it's the collective us in which we consider ourselves as direct participants of building our brand. So it really goes back to what Athletic Director Klassy said before in regards to the red wave. It's the red wave coming together, and it's really growing the red wave. It's educating the greater population of the Valley in terms of what is it that Fresno State athletics brings to the table in terms of growing the brand beyond the region, and in doing so, bringing new economic opportunities to us here. So it's this collective shared responsibility of growing our brand as direct participants of Bulldog athletics.
Thank you.
That'll conclude it for today. Again, thank you all for being here. It's a great day for all of us. We'll see all of you at Valley Children's Stadium Saturday night. Thank you.
Go Dogs. Thank you.
Go Dogs.
Everybody.
Recording stopped.